Welcome to Inkscape. We're going to start right off. To create a new document, click on the very first icon. If you want to open an existing document, click on the second. The third one over, and sometimes it won't show you that, but is to save. And then we have print. The next two over at the top have to do with importing or exporting. So you're probably going to want to import an image at some point and then export something. This means to undo the last action. The next one over is redo. It's kind of ghosted out. Then we have copy, cut, paste. There are keyboard shortcuts for that. Then we have zoom. There's also a keyboard shortcut for that. Zoom to fit. So if you ever lose your artboard, you can zoom to fit. A couple of other places, view possibilities there. Duplicate selected objects, create a clone of it. Then there's cut the selected clones out. Group, we're going to use that quite a bit. Ungroup, and we can also do that in the pull down menus as well. Edit objects, colors, and gradients, or the text tool. Some of these, when you click on them, are going to show another view, so they're going to show kind of another area. That next one over that looks like a stack is the layers. Then we have view and edit XML, and then we have align and distribute objects. So what we did is we brought up the type pull down and the layers pull down. I'm going to tell you which ones that I would put in here. And we're going to set this up so that it's kind of the same every time you open it. I would make sure that I had the layers palette, and I would make sure that I had the edit objects. It's going to give you colors of particular objects, and this is where you can kind of color pick. Otherwise, down at the very bottom, there's a whole bunch of swatches that you can look at as well. So if you want a custom color, you can do that here. Notice it changed the custom color on my workspace. Okay, so next are the tools on the side. The select tool is a black arrow. You're going to use that a lot. Edit paths by nodes. If you want to change anything, you'll do that there. Rectangles, circles, or ellipses. And then we have kind of stars and polygons. We have a 3D shape tool. Underneath that, we have spirals. Then we come to kind of the meat of this program, the draw Bezier curves and straight lines. That's going to be a really important tool. I don't really use the next two tools down. It's going to be the pencil tool and the calligraphy pen. And then there's text objects. Next one down would be create and edit gradients, create and edit mesh. And then we have what we call the eyedropper tool that actually pulls colors. Underneath this little pull down or open up window, we also have the paint bucket. And you'll see that there you can use that. We have something called tweak, spray, the eraser, the connector, the zoom tool, and a measurement tool. So for those of you who are using the extension inside of Chrome, because all you have is a Chromebook, most of the tools are the same. You'll notice that there's a few other tools down the left-hand side. Those are the ones that are hidden on the downloadable version. Most other tools inside of this interface are going to be exactly the same. It just depends on if you have the downloadable version, which you would have downloaded from Inkscape, or if you're using the extension, which is inside of the Chrome store on Google Chrome. Moving back to the downloadable version, because I think it's just easier to use, plus it's a lot bigger, we have basically I have the black arrow selected here. And I'm going to take and I'm going to draw a rectangle out in my project. Now notice I've kind of got this like yellow splatter on my, or some kind of gradient underneath this, but it's okay. This is just a test. So notice if I want to change the fill or the stroke color, the stroke would be the outside lines that are around any shape, I can change that by going to either the stroke color or the stroke paint color or the fill, and those will change that. Inside of this window, we also have a few color choices. RGB is what we normally use. If you were using this for print processes, you would be dealing with CMYK, or you can go to the wheel look. You can also find out what color the swatch is by hitting the swatch. The stroke styles, those are going to be, dotted lines or solid lines or dashed lines. You can change that. You can change the width of the stroke, that is the width of the line. You can also change the joints when they come together, and you'll see those underneath join, the caps at the ends of lines, or the order of the line. So we just have a basic rectangle drawn out here on our project, and it has kind of a red stroke. If I wanted to change that to black, I can do that here in this particular window, or I can use any of the swatches at the bottom of Inkscape in order to change that color on either the fill or the stroke inside of this particular window. This has been the first section of Inkscape tutorials. We'll continue in the next section. So I just wanted to make a special note for the people who are using the extension. This is what it normally looks like on your computer. So it has some extra things off to the side. It has File Manager, a File Manager button, and a Templates button. It has an Open and Save directly to Chrome. That's what I would actually do if you're using just the Chromebook, because you can't really save anything to your Chromebook. The Start two buttons I would ignore. And then there's some things that do pop up occasionally when you do see this. So there might be some ads that pop up here as well. But anyway, that's the extension in Chrome.